game. We'll see if that trend continues. Injury report after being a game-time decision Friday with an ankle injury. Jackson missed the look.
Well, that second shot put OKC into chaos mode defensively.
Williams, an all-star, might be all-NBA in his third season out of Santa Clara. Pippen, one of the most improved players this year in the NBA.
Before he attacked,
Shea leans in and kisses it home off the window. Westbrook did it twice, Kevin Durant 4 times. Durant 3, no good. Great pass, Hartenstein. He's an excellent passer, finds the cutting Jalen Williams.
Passing to Hartenstein.
Bain misfire on the 3, the best record in the league. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander missing a 3. Durant right there to greet Morant. Pippen, who again draws it. Switch, nice play. Shea got the block.
By John Moran. You see Edey with the switch, seals Shea. Going to be that aware to get out and contest that. Desmond Bain would have gotten that shot off.
Points per game. They were the #1 seed last year, the youngest team ever to get them tied at 4. Holmgren setting the screen. And the pass off the mark. Morant puts it on the deck. And a foul called on Edey.
Slid a little bit and picks up an offensive foul.
Back-to-back turnovers by Memphis.
And Zach Edey has become a major factor for the Grizzlies. Averaged 14 boards a game in the...
It's on Jalen Williams, his first. He is the interim coach, replaced Taylor Jenkins, who got fired at the end of March. Morant drained.
And three-point shooting.
Gilgeous-Alexander got deep in a reach.
Shooter has not had a lot of success against this team this season from anywhere.
And this is what Shea games. 13 40-point games, 5 50-point games, and is in right now. Jaren Jackson Jr. Misfire on the 3. Long. That hit Edey in the face.
Right side of his head.
Hartenstein with a floater. He's got that
so soft. He has perfected that 10-foot push shot.
Team in the league this year in Oklahoma City. And right on cue with a deflection by Hartenstein. Just the shot. Bodies hit the floor. Out to Shea.
Was able to deter him at the rim.
Edey got positioned down low, and that time slams it home.
Man, he wasn't getting that many opportunities when they played the regular season.
Air ball by 2. The deck. Morant, tough shot. Well defended. Dort. Shot clock at 5 for Memphis. Deep 3, and it's an air ball from Morant.
Sprinkling some possessions, but that's very early to hit them with that look.
And my apologies to Mark. Bigs for Oklahoma City give offenses so much trouble. Nice pass by Morant.
Well, listen, a lot more teams are doing it, but you better make sure if you're going to do it.
Today, they had 19 turnovers in their loss Tuesday.
Repetition to develop that kind of touch, but you can see the number of shots.
Floater. His dad was more of a guard when he played basketball, so he trained Isaiah to consider the easiest shot to get off over top of big defenders. It just feels natural at this point.
To find a home. He had it with the Knicks, was there for a couple years, and then signed with us. You could win $1 million with a perfect. So far, the leading scorer for Dort faked the launch and called for traveling. Memphis with the ball down 4. Morant got the defender off his feet. Another floater off.
He really wanted that one back because he left it on the front rim.
And again, that ankle looks fine, just like it did on. Meanwhile, the Thunder making substitutions as they often do.
It's fight so hard over the top of screens, so you're able to get into the paint. Where
NBA draft in 2018, playing the 5. Aldama missed the tip and then lost it, but another Memphis foul.
And Mark Daigneault said, given the alternative, he'll take this every day of the week because clearly there could be some shooting issues early when you've been off this long.
And they're 7% from the floor so far in the game. Bain on the drive, flips it up, and gets the 1 for 12. So already better than that tonight with 2 of 3. Holmgren for Pippen Jr. Got the defender off his feet, missed the shot, rails on Aldama, and Shea back to the line where he's 2 of 2.
I was about to say that situation was perfect. That's where you have to be when you defend the screener. Attacked on the follow through, and then that hip catches Shea in the low
per game. He did have a career high in assists this year.
I thought his killer instinct this year was better.
Opening quarter, The defense has been outstanding for Oklahoma City. Bain drives. Isaiah Joe, 192 threes during the regular season. The non-Morant minutes, it would help if Jaren Jackson got going. He's 0 for 3 from the floor. Jalen Williams talked about with us before the game. He realized it last year in his first
play in a unique offensive system. Jackson says there was pressure for him to acclimate quick.
1 of 8 from 3. Jackson gets on the floor looking for some help.
Here today, they're going to have to shoot a decent percentage.
Great. Scottie Pippen Jr. for shoving Isaiah Joe. That's 2 on Pippen.
And the
IN, although the LIN is checking out. 5 seconds to go. By Caruso.
Oh, we put the work in.
He says.
Yeah, the fact they have 20 points as scoring during the regular season. Jaren Jackson Jr. trying to
handle the low post, particularly when he goes to that left-hand jump hook.
Jalen Williams
on every possession.
This is game 1. Game 2 will be on Tuesday night. Jackson's 3.
Was expecting this. Least of all, Scottie Pippen Jr.
The adrenaline of the playoffs. Pippen no good. Rebound under. Great cut. Williams. Hartenstein found him. Williams missed it. Over by Bain. Williams challenged. Gets the layup. Again. It out of bounds. There are a lot of teams having a hard time getting the ball.
Taking it for granted that defensively teams are going to concede that pass.
Combined 3 of 11 from the floor. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. Great. Oklahoma City 54%. Wiggins wide open. Buries a 3. Not Bain. In and out. Morant will check in at the next. Penetrates. Wiggins, same spot. Same result.
18 points a game in their 4 matchups. And right now, the Thunder just pouring it up.
Quarter plus. Pippen lost.
Now shoulders drop. Not the effort you want to see right now. If I'm
power to make up a 29-point deficit as the number 2 offense in the league during the season. Morant asking Tony Brothers why a foul wasn't called. They were the 2 seed, but then they ended up firing their coach Taylor Jenkins on March 28th, the head coach here in the NBA. Williams, great dish. Hartenstein with the score.
Attacking once it comes out to the perimeter.
Morant will get ball right now. Playing catch in the backyard.
Well, it's clear that on full display for OKC.
Rest over rust for sure.
Pressure on the defense. One more pass for a little 6-footer for Hartenstein.
Playing a couple of games this week, Tuesday and then on Friday. Hartenstein, there's the teardrop again. They lead by 33. They got 57 points. 6 minutes to go in the half. Team foul number 3. First free throws tonight. NBA playoffs presented by Google. Game 1's Miami clear series with Denver. What did you think of that game yesterday?
What a game. I thought that's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out.
Dort, 7 of 7, 14 points, 5 rebounds. They let Wiggins sneak in there to get the rebound. Williams stops at the foul line, pops and hits, and the lead is 35.
Caruso, whoever wants to, can get into the paint right now and force that collapse.
+8 on the glass. Extra pass, Conchar. Aldama can't make it. Hartenstein, guess what? Oh, he missed one. Jalen Williams, 7th in the league in steals. Wiggins, the lob. Oh, my God.
To get energized by OKC.
Along with guys like Gus Williams and Jack Sikma as the then.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 1 for 6. And they still have 63 points with a thirder. But this entire offense now is just in great rhythm.
And it goes back to what Stein missed a ton of games. Holmgren missed half the season. Jalen Williams, the other Jalen, missed half for a good part of the year. Yet they still won 68 games, had the most double
the regular season. Shai is always going to be, the top of
it.
Well, you got an offensive player that has developed into.
Joe. The 3 won't. And just the first team foul.
For 30 points in the paint for OKC. That's their strength. They're already halfway over their.
Great ball movement. Shai. Yeah. Morant 4 of 10. Morant drives. Can't finish. can't put it in the ocean. They're 2 of 18 from 3. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
Going into the game, you'd think you don't have a lot of time with these
This is the kind of day, if you're Memphis, you were dreaming of.
They know that ultimately their defense is what differentiates, knowing how difficult they're going to make it for teams to score.
Dayton thought there should have been a foul call on Jalen Williams.
See, at one point, absolutely, it's a small win. You know, if you get a bucket hit, to get better looks.
Hey, one of the play-by-play guys' jobs is to keep the viewers. The back to Bagley underneath. And Bagley able to get that one home. Here of the half. They took a point away of that three from Jalen Williams. GRIZZLIES. They call Caruso for the foul.
Holmgren says there's a sense of knowing what to expect that settles you down right on.
Going through that. Now they were playing against two all-time great offensive talent. Rebound and 2 points. Ja Morant had 11 points, but he was 4 of 11 from.
Can do things offensively that the rest of their roster can't against series in the second half of this game.
Dort not there in the.
And if you think some sort of
Edey blocked. The floater from SGA drops through. In double figures now with and a turnover out of the timeout. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander mauled by Boston and Orlando. Oklahoma City, best record in the West, best record in the league.
A year ago, and they begin against an elite defensive team in Orlando. It's going to be the key in that series as we start out today.
That one falls off the rim. Game 2 of this series will be Tuesday. Then the series shifts to Dort left alone in front of the Thunder bench
against Dallas, and he hasn't really been with the team very long. He hasn't played much. He's 4 for 4.
Around early on, just trying to find minutes, and now he is a key player on a potential. Dort waits, got some rebounders, so he fires away. And
acclimating to your locker room, there's something wrong with your locker room because he gets along with them the same way. You think those two have been with this club for 3 years, and that's a compliment to both of them.
In the NBA.
Yeah, it's part of their calling card as a team, and I think it empowers opportunities, the way they move the basketball to have an impact.
One shot. He got 8 rebounds and 5 assists. People knew he was with Jim Calhoun as a manager, at young coach in Florida, and Donovan, former head coach here with the Thunder, to 5. And he was coach of the year last year, runner-up 2 years ago. Dort.
Lopsided victories for OKC, by the way. They haven't seen an OKC.
Before that, Lou Dort had as many points as
to occupy the left wing because he's taken 4 uncontested looks.
They were near him on those shot attempts.
I heard he moved out to the country to be alone. I didn't know he meant.
Third quarter of game 1. Bain underneath to Aldama. And good defense again, but rolls it. Holmgren will let it fly. That's good.
Brent might have a cut on his face on a collision with Chet Holmgren coming in. You see that left elbow catches Ja Morant in the face.
Expect an offensive foul.
When you swing through on any type of move,
it's a 50-point lead. Morant.
You've got all the ball pressure you're dealing with on the perimeter. Then you've got to deal with that kind of usually much more educated on the top 10 picks because that's where we were for about.
In case you're wondering, the largest margin of victory in a playoff in Denver, New Orleans in 2009.
But we're headed there right now with a 51-point deficit.
9 straight wins overall by Oklahoma City against Memphis, and air ball by Jaden. Get too loose and develop some bad habits at the end of game 1. Knowing you got a
bit of offensive success here to close out the game. Hoping that, mentioned, if he gets some run and can knock down some threes, maybe there's some carryover to game. And there are other great defensive teams in this league, Dave, but no.
And when you're Memphis trying to get stops, you're down 2 key defensive guys. Jalen, important player in the rotation, he's out as well. Bagley underneath, gets the
slowing it the way that he did certainly is going to make all rookie teams.
State suffered a wrist fracture injury. It's a really scary fall about a week. Jackson just 1 of 9, now 1 of 10. Waits for the open Lou Dort.
Yeah, great decision making. It's a big part.
X in pro sports. Not to have won a championship.
City with the age across the board of their
to build around this great roster that they put together. An outstanding in a game 1 of a playoff series is 47. Done twice, last in 1990.
And the fast break points continue. for OKC to have a single fast break point today in this game.
Where would they be with favor of the